It is my honor and privilege to stand before you to represent His Excellency, the Governor of Katsina State, Malam Umar JGCON, who is unavoidably absent for a very, very national assignment. And I want to welcome all of you to Katsina, and I'm happy that the custodians of the data we need at national level and subnational levels all are here. And for us in Katsina, we realize the importance of having data, because it is only with proper data that we plan, and we can't execute without having a learning plan. So on this note, I welcome all of you, and I'm glad to be in the midst today. It is my honor and privilege to stand before you here today. First of all, welcome you to this momentous occasion of the first biannual meeting of the National Consultative Committee of Statistics, which is taking place here in the ancient city of Katsina, the home of heritage and hospitality. Hospitality and tourism are supposedly important components of the state gross domestic product at the subnational level. Our administration has recognized that the rich cultural heritage of Katsina State can be harnessed to attract investors and accelerate ease of doing business. Our policy reforms in that sector have started using positive results. The state recently hosted a number of EU ambassadors, development partners, and international investors during the last Eid al-Fitr celebration in Katsina. Their presence at the moment was not only mere goodwill gesture of festive celebration, but rather served as a forum where key business ideas were incubated, collaborations were solidified, and investment opportunities explored. It is a well-known fact that hospitality and tourism will spur economic growth through job creation, increased revenue, as well as boost the local economy. Moreover, economic growth shall reflect the dynamic structure of our local economy. In the context of Katsina State and other subnationals, it is expected to be a proper and all-inclusive. Let me at this juncture examine the contribution of agriculture to GDP in Katsina State. Disturbed by the perennial challenges affecting the agricultural sector in the state, our administration invested billions of naira to execute numerous projects, programs, and policies that are geared towards driving agricultural transformation and rural development. Worthy to mention is the multi-billion naira agricultural mechanization center that was established in Katsina and commissioned about 2 weeks ago by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Bola Ahmed Tinubu DCFR. Hybrid tractors and strategic modern farming equipment were assembled at the center and will be distributed across the 34 local government areas, and all the centers will be established in all the 34 local government areas to coordinate the activities. To scale down the mechanization to the rural communities, construction of mini mechanization centers have commenced across the 34 local government areas of the state. In addition, the state government distributed power tillers, solar-powered pumping machines for irrigation farming, as well as timely distribution of fertilizer. It may interest you to know that last year, we are the only government at the subnational level that procured fertilizer worth over 21 billion and distributed to farmers across all the 4 units in the state that we have, 6,652. And the same gesture is being replicated this year. The project has already been commissioned. We have fertilizer on ground, which is going to be sold at a highly subsidized price. While engaging in agricultural transformation, we are mindful of the impact of mechanized farming and climate change. In other words, we are balancing the transformation with environmentally friendly sustainability to leave behind a legacy that will benefit future generations. In this sense, our agricultural transformation is smart and environmentally friendly, targeted to systematically address food security, employment generation, and poverty reduction, which are in tandem with the domestic green growth agenda. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, let me at this point state that we took a different path of achieving inclusive development through the successful implementation of the Katsina Community Development Program. Under this initiative, communities have the right to determine their priorities in terms of projects, and they are involved in the implementation strategy. The Community Development Program has not only fast-tracked the acceleration of human development, but also served as a strategic driver of enhancing the frontier of socio-economic performance in the state. The future compilation of the GDP for Katsina State shall be based on a robust methodology sufficient to measure all the dimensional structure of GDP in the state. By and large, the GDP serves as an overall measure of well-being and the standard of living must capture the total market value of all the final goods and services in a specific location. In this regard, an inclusive methodology is required that will not determine and that will not undermine the economic contribution of therefore micro, medium, large enterprises in the state. The small businesses constitute over 70% of our economic activities in the state. Only state GDP that fails to holistically account for their contribution is nothing other than a mere academic exercise. In addition, the federal administration was established the Katsina State Enterprise Development Authority, which has been championing the transformation of MSMEs in the state in terms of capacity building and provision of supportive capital. It is impressive that more than 500,000 registered businesses in Katsina will benefit from the intervention of this agency. At this point, I want to commend the National Bureau of Statistics for not only considering Katsina to host this event, but also for supporting the State Bureau of Statistics in compiling the 2018-23 GDP for the state. Also, the compilation of GDP for 2024-25 will soon commence. The state government will no doubt utilize the GDP for silent macroeconomic projections, the medium-term expenditure framework, and the fiscal strategy paper. This will jointly drive growth and development as well as attract investment in the state. Our administration has recognized the importance of data, as I said from the beginning, to inform decision-based, evidence-based governance and resource optimization. Indeed, data is life, a new gold mine and treasure, 12 policymakers. However, before one starts reaping the benefit of data, investment in data generation process, visualization and achievement and archiving is required. To achieve this, the state government has increased the budgetary provision of the Bureau of Statistics. The ability to provide statistical data is a function of well-trained statistician officers who consider capacity building as the best strategy to develop the capacity of the staff in the Bureau for effective performance of their operations. The government will therefore continue to place high premium on not only staff training but also the improvement of their welfare for accelerated outcomes. While the effort of the State Bureau of Statistics on data integration is commended, government should ensure that all statistical data for the state is uploaded on the state-of-the-art website for legitimate use by all and sundry. The area of conducting surveys in the state without complying with research ethics and using bogus methodology is over. In this sense, I urge the Bureau to ensure full compliance with the recently introduced ethical clearance in the state. The ethical clearance is not meant to be a stringent condition for researchers, but rather a means to ensure that sanctity of the survey is adhered to. My commendation goes to the National Bureau of Statistics for their careful selection of the theme of this week. The team underscored the importance of state GDP compilation as a driver for subnational development. And we wish to know that Katsina State is championing subnational development through an integrated community development ecosystem. No single word is left untouched in our development stride among the 360 awards that we have across the 34 local government in the state. The journey to building a future of Katsina State will surely reach the destination. In conclusion, I want to express our profound gratitude to the dedicated staff of the Bureau of Statistics who are working tirelessly to provide the right data that will solidify the policy plan budget next for rapid economic transformation of the state.